Welcome to Learning for Knowledge channel. We have already started the videos on reverse osmosis. Today our topic is types of membrane module and configuration. There are 4 types and we will describe these things in this videos. I hope you will like this video. Video we describe the different materials used in the formation of the membrane. Now membrane basically, which is a polymer material, is a fragile and must be carefully supported and packed so that it can be integrated into a unit process. So what is module? Module is the housing that contains the membrane, or membrane polymers must be packed into a configuration commonly called a device, module or element. There are 4 basic forms of RO membrane modules: plate and frame, tabular, capillary hollow fiber, spiral wound. Now, what is the basically selection criteria for the selection of membrane module? These are the some basic points. Now, a module must be more economical, ease of cleaning, can easily maintain, and there is no difficulty in during the operation, and easy to replace of all these modules. So on the basis of these criteria we will select which is the basic, or which module will be suitable for a long-term and sustainable operation of reverse osmosis. First type is plate and frame module. This type is one of the oldest membrane model developed and as shown in the figure. Now the plate and frame modules use flat sheets membranes that are layered between the spacer and spores. These black bars are basically spacer and spores. This is the plate on which these are fixed. So the spores are also from a flow channel of the permeate membrane, and between these spores there is a permeate channel, because the membrane is on these modules, and when we apply the pressure, water from outside come inside these permeate channels and then collected at one side. So the feed water flows across the flat sheets and form one layer to the next. These are the different layers. So if we need more water cleaning, we will be prepare a big size of this plate and frame module. So because of the very low surface area to volume ratio in this module, the plate and frame configuration is considered inefficient, and it is therefore seldom used nowadays in the RO drinking water applications. Some of the main characteristics of this frame and module are discussed below. These modules are expensive per unit membrane area because due to its construction, and lot of hardware is used for relatively little membrane area. Relatively easy to clean. This is a benefit, hence their use in high suspended solid applications. Cleaning in situ is possible but does not offer the best removal of foulants and scales. These modules tend to fall because of the dead areas within the modules where cross flow is not high enough to clean the surface free debris. These modules offer the low packing density, and typically density is less than or around 45 to 150 square feet per cubic feet of volume. So these are seldom used and not popular nowadays. Second type is tabular modules. Tabular modules are used for specially high solid application, typically in food and biological processing industries. These modules resembles in shell and tube type heat exchanger, like these are tube and water, permeate water is collected in this shell side. So in this type the membrane tubes are supported by a perforated stainless steel tubes through the which the permeate exists. Water comes inside, and then after purification permeate is collected on the shell side. You can see in this figure, and from this tubes feed inlet comes out, and then after one by one it's passing through these tubes, and then at the end concentrate is collected on other side from the tube, and water from the shell side which is purified is collected at the top from this as a permeate from the shell side. Very simple configuration. Its characteristics: Both of tabular and plate and frame time designs have low membrane packing density, resulting in a higher capital cost. So we need more tubes for more water purification. These modules are easy to clean. In most of the tabular application, the membranes need to be cleaned on a daily basis. This type of module treat higher solid feed water and having lower packing density of around 6 to 120 feet square per cubic feet. Therefore, some RO applications use tabular membrane module, but most of these type of modules are used for microfiltration and ultrafiltration applications. Now third type is hollow fine fiber membrane modules. These modules are formed into a very small diameter tubes with an outside diameter of 85 micron and inside diameter of about 42 microns. A typically commercially available hollow fiber module may consist of several hundreds of and to 10,000 of fiber. For example, this is one, you can say, fiber and or bundle of fibers which is shown in a one fiber. Now this is, you can bend at the half and now it become a module. So these these fibers are collected and now you have twisted or halfway rounded. So these fibers are folded in a half and the open end of each fiber is coated in this epoxy tube sheet. So water comes from outside and after purification it goes inside of this fiber after passing through these membranes. So feed the module is outside in, that is feed enters from outside of the fiber, which require less strength on the part of the fiber than inside outflow. What this means, if we feed the water inside, then we required more pressure for the filtration, but when the water feed outside of this fiber and in this hose, this after purification water goes inside of these fibers and collected on the other side of the permeate. So the pressure drop on the outside of the fiber is much less than would be the inside of the fiber. Characteristics of these type of hollow fibers are described. These modules are relatively inexpensive due to high surface area per unit volume achievable with this configuration, and packing density is extremely high of about 150 to 1500 feet square per cubic feet. Membrane fouling of hollow fiber is more frequent and other membranes as compared to other membrane configuration. Due to high density packing, very little space between the fibers and it becomes difficult to clean it and also to remove the suspended solid which are collected on the surface of these fibers. These modules are relatively difficult to clean. There are several dead areas in and among the hollow fiber where flow does not reach well, therefore cleaning is difficult. So in short, there is a high quality feed is required in these modules. And last one, which is very famous and nowadays used, is the spiral wound membrane, is the most commonly used module in RO system nowadays. These are developed due to a highly efficient configuration for the use of membrane to remove dissolved solids, and thus are most often associated with RO process, and there is a high packing density around 150 to 380 feet square per cubic feet as compared to first two types of tabular and plate and frame time. This is the configuration. Brief configuration is that in a spiral wound module is sandwich arrangement this type. You can see there is a membrane, support membrane is twisted over these pipes, which is, you can say, permeate tube or permeate carrier. Membrane is outside on this, and there is a feed water carrier. This is a mesh which is placed on this membrane. So water feed is on this membrane, a mesh size membrane, and then membrane, and after that this is a permeate channel and this is a permeate tube which collects the permeate water. This set of membrane and spacer is called leaf. This is a one leaf. Leaves are then placed together with a low density polypropylene mesh spacer to provide feed reject channel. This is polypropylene mesh, and then water comes from this on this membrane, on this mesh. This is leaf. The layer of the leaves are glued along three edges, and the unplugged edge is sealed around the perforated central tube. The entire collection of leaves and mesh of feed spacer are then wrapped around. This is another cut side of this spiral wound membrane by courtesy of Nelco, which is a big water treatment company, and there is a flow pattern in this. You can see this is a feed channel, and this is a permeate collection tube, and permeate is moved or collected in this channel. This is the support of the membrane, and membrane is placed on this support, and feed is flow in this red. You can say this red arrow is feed and membrane, and then this is the collection of the permeate, and then after all the permeate is collected in this tube, and the concentrate or reject is going on this way. So this is another figure. So in a single spiral wound module 8 inches, this complete is called modules. Single spiral wound module 8-inch diameter, 40-inch in length, and it contains 60 to 20 leaves, each separated by a layer of plastic mesh, a spacer that serve as the feed water channel. This is an again side. This is green is basically the permeate flow, and these light yellow color are the membranes, and this is the feed water carrier mesh, polypropylene mesh. So water, this membrane separates the feed water as well as permeate. So influent enters the spiral wound module, does so tangentially to the membrane's surface, and reject exits the module at the end of opposite of the influent. So water that permeates the membrane does so perpendicularly to the surface of the membrane. This is the membrane, and come is perpendicular. You can see from this perpendicularly, and collected in the permeate spacer, and then spiral into the perforated. This is the spiral and permeate, and then at the end it is collected in the permeate tube, exits the module through only one end of the permeate tube. Here is tube, this side is closed, and it come on the other side. This is another picture from Hydronautics, courtesy of Hydronautics. You can see product red line, and these are the green color spacer where products move, and concentrate, feed, and other things, glue, where these membranes are glued together. This is another way. So at the end, the characteristic of spiral wounds are simple, cost-effective construction. Cost per unit membrane area is relatively low. Construction point of view, more economical. Relatively high packing density. Spiral wound modules can be difficult to clean. There are dead spaces within the modules where high velocity cannot clean the surface of the membrane. A typical industrial module that is 8 inches in diameter, as shown in the previous figure, and 40-inch long, can hold up to 440 feet square of membrane area, which is very high. And spiral wound modules are not themselves pressure vessel. These basically modules, these basically membranes are not pressure vessels, so they are basically placed in a module, which is also called a pressure vessel, hosing, or whatsoever name. Like in this case, this is not a pressure vessel, no pressure, but this body external, which is now written down, this is pressure vessel module, and good mass transfer due to these feed spacers. So these basically are the 4 types of module or configuration available, and most of the format is spiral wound module. So there is a comparison of about this 4 types, and there are 4 properties. So this is the packing. You can say that hollow fiber has high packing density and tubular has low but spiral wound has intermediate of this. Potential for fouling is low in tabular and high in this spiral and very high in the hollow fiber. And ease of cleaning is good, excellent and poor, and relative manufacturing cost is moderate. So after comparing of these things, easy is the spiral wound module, and this all of these are the comparison. So we will continue this reverse osmosis plant characteristic, and also with the water treatment plant aspects, water quality and other things. I hope you will like these lectures and continue to watch our channel. Thank you very much.